you look like you could do for another spell. Come and join the Benchwarmers on the bench, where we will be discussing the recent events that have just occurred in round 14. Let's start off with Essendon and Geelong, both coming back from 30-odd points down to get the victories for their teams. Connor Brown, I'll start with you. Essendon versus Hawthorn, 36 points down. You guys brought it back and got the win on Joe Danaher's return.
Yeah, look, it was unexpected to say the least. We haven't seen that from Essendon all year, that sort of high intensity, high pressure, but also scoring as well. I think in the first half, Essendon were handballing too much, and I think if you looked at it, like the handballs was like for every 2 handballs there was 1 kick. So Essendon just weren't getting it on the foot. And then in the second half, it was something completely different. Getting it, we were winning every centre clearance, which helped, but no scores. And then Joe Danaher showed up on his return, kicking 3 goals, which was outstanding. Still having issues in front of goal. I definitely think he could have kicked 5, but that's all right. We got the win in the end, which was, for me, I was over the moon. I'm sure Robert Jarmain will love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Definitely, I think footy is a lot better when the big guns are up and about, and certainly this was the case with Joe Danaher against the Hawks. 14 touches and 3 goals, 3 on your return after a year without playing footy is pretty spectacular. Josh Cuppen, on to you. Geelong coming back from 30-odd points against Sonny's Western Bulldogs. How did you find it?
Yeah, look, mate, I'd just like to give a quick shout-out to Tom Rowland and all the other Bulldogs fans who, while I was stacking shelves at Woolworths, gave me a nice message at quarter time and said, "Oh, your boys haven't shown up. Us boys have come to play and we're going to win the flag." And then, boom, bro, 3 goals after quarter time. Are you joking? 3 goals after quarter time and you think you're flag contenders?
I didn't say anything to you, Josh.
I don't care, bro. I don't care if you knew this was going to happen. I don't like the confidence that your mob has, especially the fan base. But I respect. No. I respect what you built. I respect the players you have. But that wasn't good enough. Come on, you don't just let us back in like that. If we show up the way we did, you've got to finish us off. It's not that we might put up a contest later in the game, but you cannot let us come within 20 points.
So are we having a go at the Dogs or celebrating Geelong's success here?
Look. No. Geelong don't deserve to win that game. I've been to 2 prelim finals in the past. Well, from our past 3 prelim finals, 2016, 2017, we had shambles first quarters, against, in 2016 it was Sydney and 2017 it was Adelaide, had shambles first quarters, and the other mob didn't let us back in. And that cost us 2 grand final spots that we definitely deserved. So it just goes to show that the Bulldogs don't have what it takes.
Look, we're definitely not as good as Geelong. I reckon, I don't know what happened that first quarter. Geelong just weren't prepared. And if, you could tell if the Bulldogs played like how they did for the next 3 quarters, like they did, if they played like how they did in the last 3 quarters throughout the whole game, Geelong definitely would have thumped them. Geelong were the better team throughout the majority of the game. The first quarter, it was, if you're a Bulldogs supporter, it was something great to watch. But after that, it just went downhill. Geelong are definitely a contender this year, if not the contender, and are the best team in the competition, I reckon. So all respect to Geelong. But you didn't need to go off there, Josh. Just relax a bit, buddy.
Yeah. No, Josh, relax, mate. No need to come in again. We'll leave it there. Sonny, I know you touched on Geelong sort of being the contender. We'll save that chat for now because we will be discussing who our flag favourites are right after we discuss who makes finals. So obviously one of the challenges with having a shortened season with shortened games is the top 8. All of a sudden we see that it becomes a lot tighter. And teams are fighting a lot more to make the 8. You're not making it as easy as you usually do. And we're seeing that as the case as of right now, really. We've got Melbourne Demons, GWS Giants, and Western Bulldogs all tied on 28 points with just percentage separating them. Bulldogs do have West Coast still to play, and they do have a bye. So we won't talk about them for the sake of this podcast, but we will talk about the Melbourne Demons and the GWS Giants, who both still have 4 games to play. And I want to get your boys' take on who you think will make finals. So just to let you know, Melbourne is still in the 8, and they have to play Sydney, Fremantle, GWS, and Essendon. Whereas GWS, who are currently 9th and on equal points, have Carlton, Adelaide, Melbourne, and St Kilda. Boys, who do you think is making finals?
I think that, based off how they performed on the weekend, I feel that GWS will sneak into the top 8. Last year they had a good run. Obviously, didn't have a good grand final day, but I feel like they're a side that but should be in the top 8 based on the side they have. So I reckon they'll sneak in and be a force to reckon with when finals come around.
Yeah, look, I think the Demons of all teams really deserves the spot. The Giants have come out and not shown up in certain games. The Bulldogs, as we've seen, just haven't performed in recent games, especially with the team that they've got. And I just think Melbourne have the heart and have what it takes to go places in the top 8.
So the other week we were discussing top 8 thoughts, and we said, majority of us said Collingwood weren't in there. So now we sort of considering that they sit on 34 points, that they are in there. So they're still going to play Brisbane.
100% Collingwood are going to stay in the top 8.
So you got Brisbane, then you got the bye, Gold Coast and Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
So you reckon you're safe?
Got anything to say there?
We are safe.
So what about St Kilda then? Where do they sit?
Oh, the Saints are in there. The Saints have got the team. They don't even
Look,
their performances can be average, but
because we just discussed Melbourne, GWS, and Bulldogs, who are all 1 game away from St Kilda. Percentage-wise, yes, there's a difference, but
the Bulldogs are making the 8.
I don't know who asked.
Very funny, mate. I think Carlton are more of a chance at this point.
No.
You think Melbourne?
Okay, Sonny, who's dropping out of the 8?
If Collingwood,
no one.
If Collingwood,
staying the same for me. I reckon Melbourne, they earned my respect on the weekend after beating St Kilda. It was a pretty good game.
So you reckon Giants don't get in?
Hold up.
You just said the Bulldogs are in the 8.
I was
Are
joking.
the Bulldogs in the 8 right now?
No,
No,
they're
no.
10th.
How can it stay the same? How can it possibly stay the same?
No, I was joking about the Bulldogs. Calm down.
Yeah, real
Bulldogs
funny. You
lost
see me
it.
laughing.
There's still a game.
Keep in mind, this is the guy who just posted on the Instagram that he's the self-proclaimed funniest guy on the podcast. And that was his
no
best
one's
joke.
laughing at that one, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
No one was laughing at that one.
Fine,
Look, if Collingwood lose their last 3 and Melbourne and GWS both win 3 of their last 4, Collingwood's in real strife. That's all I'm going to say. They could both end up making it. It's going to be interesting. James, do you know much about the run home for Collingwood?
No, I don't. Sorry, mate. Oh, no, Conor touched on it. We have Brisbane, then we have a bye, then we have Gold Coast, and I think it's Port Adelaide, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard run home.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
I think if you can get one more win, you guys are set.
Yeah, I mean, we should beat Gold Coast, but,
Yeah.
The form recently, you just never know.
Exactly.
Marlon, what do you reckon about Carlton? No, I want to hear your opinion about Carlton, Marlon.
Look, I just think we're currently just too young a team and just don't have enough experience to string together sort of 4 quarters of footy. Kicking 4 behinds in a half is not acceptable for a team that should be contending for finals.
So now, Marlon, I just want to jump in. Does kicking you say 4 behinds after half time? Does
Yes.
that justify whether you have a young side or whether your side's just shit?
Mate, I don't think we're bad. I think the difference between our good and our
But you
and our
can't
bad
say
is
fall
big.
behinds is like it's just purely based on being a young team.
It's not, but
Then
that's
what's
what I'm saying.
what's the
I'm saying we're very inconsistent, and that the difference between our good and our bad currently is very big, and we need to just work on narrowing that gap if we want to, because we know we've proven that at our best we can compete with anyone, but at our worst we'll get beaten by anyone. So it's just a matter of getting that together and just and look, I think that'll come with time. I think in the next couple of years we'll be a real contender, at least for the 8. So yeah, I guess there's just some more to look forward to. It's good to see improvement at least. Last year we finished bottom 4. Last few years we've been finishing bottom 4. So it's good to see us actually finally fighting for that, for finals again. So yeah, we'll see how it all unfolds for the rest of the season and next year as well.
So you don't reckon
Your mum?
This year, well, we're going to need to win 4 of our. We're going to need to win our last 4, which I don't think will happen because we have Brisbane as well, and GWS. So we'll see what happens. But let's just move on to who we think our flag favourites are. Connor, who's your flag favourite at this point?
Geelong. I don't know, the performance they've put up, especially against the Dogs. I know we touched on it before. Not going to say much more, but like just the sort of resilience not to give up. That was. It was just very impressive when you see Geelong in full flight. I reckon they can beat absolutely anyone, and as seen, sort of come back from I think it was 36 points in the end, and win comfortably in the last quarter, even though it was I think it was 12 points or something. They seem to have control of the game and win quite comfortably. I think they can match West Coast and Richmond. No doubt about that. They've got Tom Hawkins, who's in almost form of his life, winning the Coleman medal at the moment. And you got people like Dangerfield, Menegola, Guthrie, who's
Duncan.
all hitting their straps. Yeah. Duncan also. I mean, the list goes on, to be honest. Yeah, Jeb Bu's a fan favourite. But, yeah, no, I think Geelong have got what it takes.
Okay, fair enough, mate. Josh, I know you're a Geelong supporter, but I know that you have a different flag favourite. Who's yours?
Yeah, look, I've seen Geelong flop in finals the last few years. Like, as far as we've gone to prelims 3 in the last 4 years. But, I'm yet to see it happen. I'm yet to see a really strong final series. But I've got Brisbane. I just think, despite their inaccuracy, it's just a really strong attacking team. They've got all the elements of a good team, a really strong midfield, like a Brownlow contender. Some potential Coleman medal winners if they can get their kicking straight, like Charlie Cameron and all that. And still being a young side, if it's not this year, it's going to be years to come.
Yep, fair enough. So you don't think experience will sort of, I don't know, because you say Brisbane, but I sort of just think of it as maybe there's a bit of a lack of experience there, in terms of playing finals.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and they're goal kicking.
Yeah, but think about it. Last year they were what, a couple points short of GWS, like in the semi-final. This was the semi-final.
Arguably,
they would go on to be the runners-up. And they've just Hugh McCluggage is starting to peak. Zorko is starting to peak. Cam Rayner's actually starting to find his form. I never really rated him until this year, even though he was a number 1 pick. Harris Andrews is in all-star form. The list goes on. I just think they get their kicking straight, they win a flag. It's simple as that.
Definitely, mate. We'll see what happens come finals. James, I know you've got Richmond as your flag favourites. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if anyone's going to win it, it's going to be either Richmond or Geelong. I feel that Geelong got a lot of experience, but Richmond, has proven and shown over the last 2-3 years, their pressure They're they're relentless to get the footy. Just outworking other teams. I feel that they're starting to hit their straps as well. And come final time, I reckon they're gonna win again.
Fair enough. So it's probably safe to say that between us Benchwarmers, we think it's sort of between Geelong, Brisbane and Richmond. So let's see how it all unfolds.
I won't talk then.
Oh, do you have someone else different in mind, son?
Yeah, Port Adelaide, mate.
Okay, go
Why
on.
is no one talking about Port Adelaide?
I'm listening. Go on.
They're a game clear on top. They have their run home will test them. They have a couple big teams, but I reckon they will prove that they're worthy of the grand final and the premiership this year. That's just my opinion. They're a pretty strong team. They've gone pretty underrated, and they're sitting on top of the ladder. Not too many people talk about them, and just you watch, mate. They're our winners.
I'd just like to say one more thing, quick sentence. We're talking about like the grand final potentially being in Perth, and we talk about West Coast not being able to play away from Perth, but when they're in Perth, they are the team to beat. So that could definitely be something.
Yeah, that's very true, Josh. Once we find out where the grand final venue is, I feel like this. I feel like it'll open up a lot more in terms of who's the real favourite to win the grand final, because you've got Brisbane, who if the grand final's played in Queensland, that sort of favours them. West Coast for Perth, obviously, but then you got the Melbourne teams like Geelong. Neither of those benefit them. There's not going to be a grand final in Melbourne this year, so it'll be a tough one. Look, personally, I think I don't know. You could say any one of those teams, really. I think maybe Richmond, if they just get their form together, on the way home, on the way to the end of the season. I think they just got too much experience. Their footy stacks up when they play finals, and once they're up and about, they're just a team to be reckoned with, and they're pretty much unstoppable. But like I said, we'll see what happens. There's a bit of talk that they can't play without a crowd. They can't play away from home, this and that. So
I still got the umpires.
Yeah, mate. Look, that's your opinion. But yeah, we'll like I said, we'll see what unfolds from here on. Let's move on to the round 15 tipping. So game number 1, we've got Hawthorn versus Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. Connor Brown, who do you think?
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn?
Yeah, they need a strong game after the loss to Essendon, and they got to come out strong.
Fair enough, mate. I know you enjoyed that one. Josh?
I feel like Adelaide are lightning in a bottle, so I think this is their time.
Awesome. Sonny Purdy? Josh, wait, hold on. Pause for a second. Josh, did you just say lightning in a bottle?
Think about it. Like, you lose 13 games, you don't start to shake. You start to get really aggressive. And,
Look, mate,
Hawthorn aren't a quality team. Hawthorn are not a quality team, all right?
Look,
Rory Sloane is back. Let's not forget how Adelaide competed against Geelong.
Mate, that's fine. I understand where you're coming from, but don't use the phrase lightning in a bottle ever again, or you will suffer the consequences.
Of what?
Just mute yourself for a second, mate, so Sonny can. Josh, mate,
What, you want to hear Sonny speak?
We love you, Josh. Sonny, Hawthorn or Adelaide?
I don't think Adelaide are going to win a game this year, so Hawthorn.
Awesome. James Callaway?
Yeah,
Adelaide lightning in a bottle, or is it Hawthorn?
Nah, it's Hawthorn. Yeah, Hawthorn.
You know what, Josh? I'll back you up on this one. I think Adelaide is lightning in a bottle. I think they could get their first win of the season. We know that they're capable.
Was the phrase really that bad? God.
Nah, Josh, we're here to help each other, mate. We'll work on it. Don't worry. Next game, West Coast Eagles versus Essendon at the Gabba. Sonny Purdy, you can go first because I know you love this one. Mate, what do you have to say?
Just because it's a weird oval at the Gabba, I reckon Essendon for me, they're on a roll right now, and West Coast can't play anywhere other than home. So,
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Connor Brown.
I'm never going to be called a fake fan again, so I'm going to go with Essendon.
Oof. 2 for 2 for Essendon. Josh Cuppen.
I think it's a big statement that West Coast can't play away from home because they weren't that far off Richmond, and Richmond being flag favourites. So, Eagles.
Eagles. James.
Yeah, I think the Eagles will win this one.
Awesome. I also think the Eagles will get over the line. Let's go to Richmond versus Fremantle at Metricon Stadium. Connor Brown.
Richmond.
Josh.
Richmond.
Connor. Sonny.
Richmond.
Richmond. James.
Richmond.
Yeah, same. Sydney versus Melbourne at Kazali Stadium. Connor Brown.
At where?
Kazali's. It's a different one, mate.
Where's
I think it's in
that?
Hobart.
That's in
I think it's in
Cairns, isn't it?
Hobart.
No, it's in
Cairns
Cairns.
or something like that.
Hobart. God.
Yeah, I'll go with
Hobart,
Melbourne.
isn't it?
Gosh.
You'll go with Melbourne. Yep.
That's Bloodston.
Josh, Melbourne or Sydney?
Melbourne.
Sonny,
Melbourne.
James.
Melbourne.
I'll go Melbourne as well. GWS versus Carlton at Metricon. Connor Brown.
JWS.
Gosh.
Marwan, I'm going to back your boys in.
My man. Good. Sonny?
I'm also feeling Carlton for some reason. Yeah.
Yes. James?
I'm going Carlton. I've got a good feeling about this week.
So do I. I'm always going to back my boys, and I know that we perform after a loss. We always do. Whenever we lose, we perform the next week.
Yeah.
Is that three or four straight weeks that Connor's bet against Carlton?
Was I
Yeah,
wrong
it
last
is.
week?
No, but the week before you tipped Gold Coast over Carlton, and we beat them by 33. So, look, and also you tipped Freo against Carlton, and Jack Nunes kicked goal of the century. So,
Jackie
Look,
Nunes.
Oh, the
Yeah,
century.
all right, mate. But
Yeah, this
Century.
early into the century.
name.
pretty sure they
name
have
a
Jake
better goal.
McCarty down in the forward line now, so good luck with that.
But we
It's not
also
a bad
have Jacob Wiedering and Liam Jones. We'll put him in his back pocket. Don't you worry.
Let's not
mate,
forget what
it's-
Christian Mihos said about Wiedering letting Cox kick. Looked like he was kicking a century.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cox was pretty good last week.
Brisbane versus Collingwood at the Gabba. Connor Brown.
I've got a bit of a funny feeling that Collingwood are going to get up, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
do,
gonna
Conor
go
Brown. Yeah,
Pies.
you do, mate. That's it.
Okay. Josh Cuppen.
Yeah, put me down for Brisbane.
Nice. Connor. Sonny Purdy.
Call me Connor twice. That's all right. Where's the game at again?
It's at the Gabba.
No. We are not going to continue to run this joke.
Brisbane definitely beating Collingwood at home.
All right. Thanks, mate. James.
You're in there. Brisbane.
Okay.
No, Collingwood.
All right. Collingwood. I'll go Brisbane. Collingwood are due for a loss.
What do you?
Well, that just about wraps up episode
that it?
6 of Yes, it is, mate. It was a quick one today. Got through the main topics, and that's it. Keep them short.
Gonna make the announcement?
Keep them short and sharp. Keep them short and sharp.
Yeah,
Big
there you
news, guys. We do have our first sponsor. Principal
Hey!
Society. Little business. We're getting the jump. So it's pretty much a fashion label. Connor, feel free to explain it, mate. You know it a bit better than I do.
At the moment, it's a small clothing business run by 2 people. And so at the moment, they're just selling jumpers. However, they're expanding, I guess. They're moving into other colours and T-shirts. So you will see us wearing the Principal Society clothing in the episodes to come, and go have a look at their website.
Definitely. Principal Society. The link will be in the description to their website. Some more big news. Interview with Michael Gibbons coming out soon.
It would already be up.
We did interview Michael Gibbons last week. And yeah, that video will be dropping soon.
You're gonna love it. If you love vodka,
Yeah,
you're gonna love this
it
one.
was really good. It was pretty
Yeah.
humorous. It was good. We were really proud of ourselves. But yeah, look, apart from that, some big news. Some big news to finish off on a high note. But that wraps up episode 6 of the Benchwarmers podcast. We look forward to seeing you next week after round 15 in episode 7. Peace out and get back on the field and do your thing. We'll see you on the bench next week.